You know, it's really perfect that I'm following Tony, because I want to talk to you about books. The best way to get on stages is to have a short book. So if you have anything on your lap, take it off your lap, put it under your chair, especially if it's wet. All right, you ready? No, take the stuff off your lap, please. I don't say anything that doesn't mean something. All right. Now, coffee cups are not by your feet, under your chair. Do it now. Okay. You know, I'll be 82 either next week or the week after. And when you get to be this age, you're really comfortable telling people what to do. And sometimes where to go. So, do what I do, and can we have a little music, maestro? Lift, 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 change sides and lift. 2, 3, you'll like this. 4, and twice right, and twice left. Once right, left, raise your right arm up. 2, 3, and 4, change left and reach. 2, 3, and 4, twice right and reach. 2, twice left. 2, now once, both hands, both. That's why I needed the love. And stand up. Sit down. Stand up. Sit down. Now, up, down, stay there. And wag your hips. Good. Now, wag twice right, twice left. That's it. Now, pretend you have a tambourine and hit it. And hit it. And stand straight. And lean. Don't move your arms, you'll kill somebody. Lean, sit down. Bounce your feet. You're very good. Clap your hands. Now your knees are here. Sit down. Cut. Can you tell I used to teach exercise? I actually became famous doing that. What I'm going to tell you today is important for you if you want a better business, more visibility, more clients, and more money. I think probably every single one of you wants that. So I'm going to tell you about my journey in a moment. But first, I want to thank Kim and Sandra and Brianna and the eWomen team. I am very honored to be on this stage. Yes, it's a true honor. Speaking to you, I came to my first eWomen about 10 years ago, 11 years ago, and I came to this part of it. It was called, I think, pre-day, whatever, pre-conference. And I looked at the people on the stage and I said, I want that. And here I am. I started this whole journey when my mother told me I couldn't date the boy I was dating. I married him. And then we moved back to New York, and he went back. I was a freshman in college. So he went back to school and I went to work. And I didn't have any skills, I didn't have any education, and I didn't know anything. But my mother was the nation's foremost fitness authority. She created the President's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports under Eisenhower, not Kennedy, Eisenhower. It's a long time ago. and I knew how to teach exercise. So I started my exercise studio in a 5-flight walk-up in Greenwich Village. I figured everybody got in shape just getting to my apartment. And then we moved to the Upper West Side. And so I was supporting the family, and we decided, of course, to have a baby. And my son was born in '66, still teaching exercise like 1 or 2 hours a week. And when my son was 2, somebody called me, Faye Levy, never forget her. Do you teach 2-year-olds? And I said, no, but I have a 2-year-old and I teach him. Would you teach 2-year-olds? What's the operative word you want to live by? Yes. I didn't know what to do. So the next Thursday, I had 6 2-year-olds in my living room. I was going to teach them. And I called my mother, this is so great. I called my mother the night before. What do I do? And she said, keep them busy. She said, keep them busy. So the next day I kept them busy. And my little class in my little living room grew until there were 10 kids. And we didn't have a room in the living room, so I rented a studio up on Broadway. And it's so great. It grew. I had 2 classes, mother-child class and a toddler class. A woman in my mother-child class said, may I bring a guest to see what you do? I said, sure. Now, I didn't know what that meant. She brought a reporter from the New York Times and a photographer. I hadn't washed my hair, I had no makeup on, and I had a hole in my tights. There's a picture of it in the New York Times. So what happened is she interviewed me, they took photographs, and 3 weeks later, a 3/4 page, now I had 10 2-year-olds, 3/4 page article came out in the lifestyle section of the New York Times. And 4 days later, I had 75 students. We had no money. And 4 days later, we did. And then my school grew. And people thought I was crazy because I was teaching 2-year-olds. This is before Gymboree, before Mommy and Me, before Tumblrs. And I did it. I didn't know what I was doing, but I did it. How many of you really know what you're doing in business? But you're doing it. Every single day, you're doing it. I don't know. And it grew. And then I grew out of my 1 hour a week studio, and I rented a studio all week, and it grew. And then all week became, I had to get a bigger studio. And it was interesting, because what I'm going to talk to you really about, it's not who you know. It's who knows you. So I had a West Side studio, an East Side studio, and I opened a summer camp in East Hampton, New York. And I was at a cocktail party in East Hampton, New York in 1971. I didn't know anybody at William Morrow Publishing, but they knew me. I was talking to an editor from William Morrow. I told her about the book I wanted to write. And she said, well, do you have an outline? I said, of course. And may I pick it up on Monday on my way back to Manhattan? Absolutely. I wrote it over the weekend. What are you going to do? So she called me. Yes, we want your book. And she offered me $3,000. That sounds good. Let me talk to my husband. And so I talked to Jeffrey. He said, that sounds good. So I called the William Morris agency. And I said, hi, this is Suzy Prudden. I just sold a book to William Morrow, and I need an agent. They assigned an agent to me who negotiated the contract of $5,000. Always work with an agent. Yes, you're going to pay them money, but it's going to be more than you will if you don't use an agent. Fast forward, I didn't know how to write. So my husband did. He wrote the books. And it was my program. And we wrote a lot of books. And when I wrote the book, Spot Reducing, and he didn't fly. So we didn't go on tour when the publishing companies offered me the opportunity to do a 15-city tour. He didn't fly. We didn't go. Mistake. Big mistake. I just felt like Julia Roberts and finding out, big mistake. That's a non sequitur. So when Workman published my book, Spot Reducing, and offered me a 15-city tour, I turned to my husband and said, I'm going. You can come with me or not. I'm going. He came with me. And it was very interesting because in Detroit, I got a call from my editor. You made the New York Times list. That's a heady experience. So I didn't know anybody at William Morrow, but they knew me. I didn't know anybody at CBS in 1972, but they knew me. They called me. They asked me to do a spot on a children's show Saturday morning. I had that job for a year and a half. I didn't know anybody at Newsweek, but they knew me. They called me to interview me on fitness. I didn't know anybody at NBC, but they saw that article. I only had 3 sentences in that article. They knew me. They asked me if I wanted to do a pilot with Dr. Frank Field for NBC. We did it. They didn't pick it up, but another producer at NBC saw the pilot, liked what I did, called me, would you like to come down to NBC and do a 7 minutes live on a show for the elderly, exercise. I wasn't elderly then, but I am now. And I had that job for 3.5 years. That job I used to call my producer. How many of you call people twice and then don't call them again? Oh, good. How many people call until they buy or die? That's my coach, Eric Lofholm. So I would call Larry. Larry, I have a great idea for a show. Of course, it was my show. And he said, great idea, Suzy. Not now, but keep calling. I did. One day, Larry called me and offered me my own talk show, hello, on NBC. And that led to I didn't know all the people at NBC, but the Today Show people called me and asked me to be the fitness reporter on camera for the Today Show. How many people know you that you don't know? How many people can call you that you have you have to be known. Writing a short book gets you known. So, Kat Bonzak, I met her at CEO Space. She wanted to do a book. I called her. Tell me about yourself. I'm a full-blooded gypsy. I'm a disabled vet. I'm a spiritual coach, and I am a marijuana distributor. Okay. What do you want to write about? I don't know. Spiritual coaching? What I'm about to say is very important. I said, what's the low-hanging fruit? I don't know. I said, it's pot. You're going to write the book, Your Amazing Itty Bitty Marijuana Manual, 15 Ways to Use Cannabis for Health. She said, how did you do that? That's what I do. And then you're going to write 15 ways to talk to your kids about cannabis. And then you're going to write 15 ways to use edibles correctly. How many of you know that story? And then you're going to create a certification program teaching people how to teach other people how to use marijuana, which she did. It's a good course. I took it. So I'm having too much fun, and so are you. she called me one day crying. I said, good God, what's wrong? And she said, these are happy tears. I said, what happened? I'm at a marijuana festival. 60 people signed up for my course. I made $92,000. Do you know how good that, I mean, just imagine, you write a teeny weeny book. I'm serious, it's 30 pages. Two chapters, 30 pages, in bullet points and numbers. These are the cliff notes from Dummy's books. No more 350 pages. People don't have time. And you want to get them fast. And you want to impart your information so that they know what it is. It helps them, and they want, to work with you. That's the purpose of a book. It gets you on television. It gets you on stage. It gets you clients. Yes, you have a story. Second book. First book, you want people to call you. So, Ed is a leadership coach. When he called me out of the blue, he said, just read one of your books, and I've been trying to write a book for 5 years. How many of you have been trying to write a book for 5 years? Stop it. Stop it. You're wasting time. No one can read a book that you've been writing for 5 years. Oh, that was great. I just made that up. My talk is leading to new announcements. Anyway, so he wrote a book. He's written 3 books with us right now. And he got called. He's a leadership coach. He was a retired police force. And he always wanted to do something special in the police force. And because of his books, people are finding out who he is. And he got called, and now he has a new job. I think he's 67 years old. He's traveling all over the country. He's speaking. He's teaching. He's making more money than he's ever made before. All because of a little book. Now, Anthony Camacho, how many of you know Anthony Camacho? A bunch of you do. I met Anthony at a workshop. I was so excited. I had just started Itty Bitty. This was 10 years ago. And he didn't know who I was. But everybody else at the table did, because I'd been working with this gentleman for a while. And I talked about Itty Bitty. I said, I have some flyers with me. Sign up and write an Itty Bitty book. I was so excited. And he signed up and gave me $3,500. Don't ever tell me you can't sell big numbers in moments. You can. I did. I do. And he wrote this book. It's a book on your amazing itty bitty little black book of sales. He's a sales coach in the automotive industry. They need sales coaches. And he did everything right. He got on television. He got on radio. He got in newspapers. Book by itself doesn't have legs. You've got the legs, and you've got to get on stages, and you've got to get in the media if you want your book to sell. He took this book. He did everything. We used to meet in Pasadena for breakfast, and we would talk about, okay, what's your next move? What's your next move? And he grew his company from, oh, you're going to love this, because this is possible. $100,000 a year to $750,000 a year in 2.5 years. Every single one of you has a book inside of you. Every single one of you wants to make a difference. Every single one of you has a passion for what you do. It's why you're here. You're here for 4 days. You've taken time away from everything to be here for 4 days because you are passionate about what you do. You want to grow it. You want to make a bigger difference. And you want to get well paid, but you have to be known. If you want to be known in your industry, you have to have a small book. You have to put that book out there. You have to really own who you are. And, you are not your business is you. You are the face of your business. When you walk into a room, you want people to know who you are. When you walk on stage, you want the audience to be excited to see you. I didn't know Tony was going to go before me. And it was like, oh, how many of you go, whoa, I'm coming after Tony Caruso? No, she got you higher. So when I walked on stage, you were already high. Now you're a little higher. You want your audience to be so excited. And a book opens the door. As I said, I didn't know anybody at William Morrow. They knew me. I didn't know anybody at CBS. They knew me. So if you want to be a celebrity in your business, you have to walk, talk, breathe your business. Because you are your business. It was a baby when you created it. And now it could be a teenager, could be a young adult, it could be a crone, who knows? I have a friend, we were at a gathering one time, watching people dance through fires and stuff like that. We were sitting back and she said, "Old crones that we are." It was such a funny moment. That's a non sequitur too. It just came into my head. Can you understand how much fun I'm having? Yeah. If you want to know if you want to be a celebrity in your business, you have to have a book, you have to walk your talk, and you have to get on media. You have to work to get on media. There's so many things that a book can bring you. How many of you have ever noticed who have a book that when you say you're a published author, people go, "You are?" Right? So again, how many of you want to write a book? How many of you have already written a book? How many of you have become well known because of your book? How many of you have made a lot of money with your book? Would you like to? That's the operative statement. You can, but you can't wait for your book to do it for you. You have to actually do it for your book. How many of you who have books take your books with you wherever you go? I know you do, Vicki. You take both of them. How many of you leave your book at home? No one's going to dare. You have a gift. You have a purpose. You have a passion. It's who you are. It's why you're here. It's your business. You are not your business. Your business is you. You want people to know who you are so that they can call you and say, "Would you like to be on my stage?" I have a booth here. It's in the expo room. I would love it if you came by and talked to me. On your way out to lunch, I have people, I'll be standing at the back, and I have people standing at the back. They're going to hand you one of these. It just says, "I want to talk to Suzy Prudden." So fill it out. Either give it back to them or bring it to the booth, whatever, see me in the hall, hand it to me. I cannot stress enough the power of books. I've written 11 books with big houses. I've done 18 national tours. I've done products, television. I had an extraordinary career as a fitness expert. I have now an amazing career as a publisher because I know how to make you all famous. Love you too. That woman is a genius back there. Angel, talk to her. When you think of e-women, you automatically think Sandra Yancey. When you think Speaker Network, you automatically think Tony Caruso. When you think LinkedIn, you think Kate Payne. When you think publicity, you think Jill Lublin. When people think of your business, do they think of you? When people think of you, do they think of your business? You are one and the same. Come see me. Come talk to me. Yeah, I have nothing else to say.